All day.
Get it straight. And in studio again, once again, the legendary
Absolutely.
Ray Cuts, video director, video editor.
Thank you for having me over.
Present.
Having me over.
We got a lot to get to. Ray Cuts sent us his career workology, and it was a list. I had a blast this morning, brother Ray. Thank you. Whether you know it or not, you sent me your playlist of videos that you directed and also videos you edited, but I focused on the videos you directed.
Okay.
And it was like a little time machine.
Hell yeah.
A few of them. I got to
It
see
goes way back.
Yeah, hell yeah.
some early Brother F joint called Pull Up. He had another couple joints. I got to see some early Hoffa. Shout out to the brother Hoffa, Jammed Up Journals.
Word up.
Some early Mudslingaz. Shout out to the
that
brother
was my
Pro.
Nice.
Shout out to the brother L.O.N.E.
Yes, sir. Shout
A
out
lot of
Mudslingaz.
Red Cafe.
Yeah. Fab.
Brooklyn, that was fire.
Yeah.
Fab. A lot of Jersey City. Jersey City Anthem and Jersey Anthem. Saw the brother Crisis up there. Heat. Some Block Royal up there. Classic shit. Some Latin music. Some Marv. I seen brother Marv up there. Marvelous Fame. I seen AJ up there. AJ El Callejero. Shout out to him. Congratulations to him on everything he got going on. I had a fun ass time, bro. Then after everything, I got caught up to current times.
Yeah.
And it was the L.O.N.E project, 3 joints, right?
Yep.
I believe 3 joints
We did 3 videos.
off the Provolone project, and I
Hell
was just like, yeah, this is
Provolone
my shit.
banger.
This is my shit. So I had a lot of fun with that, brother. So thank you for providing me with a fun ass morning
Hell
watching
yeah.
dope
Thank
ass
you.
videos, bro.
Thank you for checking it out.
So-
that's my favorite part is people watching.
The reaction and shit.
Like
Yeah.
just people watching.
Yeah,
And then
no,
the more the
absolutely,
better.
bro.
I get it.
Right.
And
I get addicted to that.
I believe you have over 500 million views on YouTube. Probably more
Easily.
now.
Yeah. Like directing definitely over 500
Congratulations,
million.
Man, that's
brother.
amazing.
That is a big
And
number.
editing is definitely over 1 billion.
That's crazy. How does that feel,
Congratulations,
man?
bro.
How does that feel
Thank
to
you.
know that you created all this art?
It's amazing.
And millions now, soon to be billions of people will have viewed it.
It's,
know what I'm saying?
It's a blessing. And
That's
I
incredible.
appreciate it because that's my favorite. That's what got me into it.
Yeah.
Is seeking the views.
Right.
And that led me into the music industry.
Right.
So.
So let's start all the way at the very beginning. What was there something specific that you saw that caught your eye, whether a music video, a movie, a scene, anything, a picture, a piece of art, that you were like, wow, that's visually stunning, and I want to try to
Do that.
go down that avenue and create something like that?
How I got started?
Yeah, no. Before how you got started, what
inspired you?
Yeah,
to
what
get
inspired
started? Yeah.
Music. I would say hip hop.
Music and music videos?
Through rollerblade, because it started with me with rollerblading. And then that's always was music driven. The
Right.
videos of rollerblading, like when you order the VHSs, because it's back then.
back then? Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's like that inspired me to get started with the filmmaking.
And you started with actual rollerblading videos.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was Skaty filming me in the crew.
Yeah.
Shout out to the brother
Creation.
Maxi.
Yeah,
Shout out to
Maxie
my
was part of
cousin,
that.
Yeah,
Max
aka
Fido.
Max Low.
He was part
out
of
there.
NC skate crew.
What was the NC?
New Creations.
Okay,
Nice.
dope. And you was out there videoing with what, like a camcorder?
Yeah, camcorder. My
Old school
sister's
shit.
camcorder back in the day. Some
Tape,
some
right?
high 8, like the thick tapes.
Yeah.
Those.
And how would you edit that back then?
Back then, I wouldn't really edit. I'd shoot
Just
it for us to have it, and my boy, my best friend Jesus himself, he
Jesus himself? No.
No name.
No, I don't know if you know him. He's DJ
no.
and stuff like that. But he took the course in high school, and he would edit back then. But it was like a crazy machine, like the size of this table.
Yeah.
He'd press levers and hit 10 buttons and be like, all right, what's the next shot? I'm like, you got to do all that?
Yeah.
So I didn't like the editing side of it.
Right.
I just like
'Cause
shooting
back
the
then it was
rollerblade.
tedious.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I used to like just shooting it for us to watch it at
Right.
at the crib.
And were you shooting it with music or were you adding music later?
It would be added later. Like
Yeah.
Jesus would add the music later.
That's dope.
But we would just. It started just. We want to see ourselves skating.
Hell yeah.
You know what I mean?
Get
We
the
all
ill
sit
shots.
around. There'll be 20 of us, 30 of us in a room, sitting around watching watching the
yourselves,
clips.
yeah. But that's also how you learn, right? As a skater, you're like, oh shit, I could have did this backflip or some shit. But shout out to Jesus, because you know what's funny that you mentioned that he took the class in high school. I recently had a thought in one of my Blaze sessions. I was like, yo, I should have done that, bro. Like audio visual in like high school, like that shit back in the day was like nerd shit.
Yeah, we.
But now that I think about it, like yo, I was a fucking nerd. Why wasn't I in there? I could have been doing the music, the videos, learning all that shit. That shit would have been fire.
Yeah.
So shout out to Jesus himself for taking the class and learning back in the day when it was a mission probably with mad little tapes and all kinds of shit. Now it's like. Do you think it's almost like cheating now? With as far as editing programs and how easy they make everything for you?
That's how I got started. Once one of my rollerblading homies put me onto, he can edit on his own computer.
Yeah.
I didn't even know
I
didn't even know that was really a possibility.
Right.
So He's like, yo, you want to see the footage from yesterday? We had skated 2 days in a row. I was like, all right, cool. Boom, he puts it on. It's got an intro, music. Our names are at the bottom, and we're popping up and skating. I'm like, how'd you do that?
Yeah.
He was like, on my computer at home. I was like, no, for real? He's like, can you show me?
Do you remember how old you were around this time?
I had to have been, that's when I got back into skating. Because I had stopped. I had broke my ankle and stopped.
Oh, shit.
So, and then got back into it probably like 20, 21.
So you're still young.
Around then.
That's magic still.
And what was your next step? Like, yo,
the next one was like, yo, no, I went to his crib. He showed me. I'm like, oh shit, is my computer strong enough to do that?
Yeah.
Figured it out. It was. I got the program. It was Adobe Premiere.
Yeah.
And then
it was on.
It was on from there.
Do you still use Adobe Premiere?
Yeah, now I'm back on it. I'm Final Cut Pro at heart because after that, through the older rollerbladers that have been filming and editing themselves, oh no, you got to get an Apple. Yeah. It's the best computer to be able to create. And that was the goal, was to make a documentary of us skating, or a skate video, which is basically a documentary. And then I went to Final Cut Pro. I fell in love with it, and then I was like, yo, I want to learn how to edit better. So I was doing it for like a year, just learning off my boy and on my own. And I was just like, yo, I want to do this. And I went to New York Film Academy.
Nice.
Wow.
For it. Right before, because I was going to college I was trying to do radiology.
Like doctor shit?
Yeah,
like X-rays?
I wanted to do that.
Okay.
I wanted to do that, and then I didn't take SATs. Like I became rebellious to the system back then, so I didn't take SATs. So I was going to Bergen Community College, and they were like, "Yo, if you pass anatomy, physiology 1 and 2, we're gonna help you get into the radiology program." Because I was so young, that's like it was always older nurses and stuff like that. Then they'll go, because I was the youngest. I was 17 in the class, and the second youngest person was 26 when I was doing anatomy and physiology. Past that. But at the same time, I learned I can edit on my own computer. I was like, what?
So that was the fork in the road of life.
Well, exactly. So I'm there like studying hard, passing, but then on my free time, I'm editing. I'm learning how to edit. So right there, the fork in the road was just like, all right. So I told my dad, I was like, yo, I want to do the filmmaking stuff. And I went to New York Film Academy and did a couple other courses back then. That must have been like 2003 or 4.
Did you, is there like a graduation from New York Film Academy, or do you just complete it?
It's a certificate.
Yeah.
I have it. I should have brought it. I have it in the room later. If we take a break, I'll take it out.
Yeah.
But yeah, I went to New York Film Academy, learned it.
Yeah.
Did you ever put out the documentary? The skate?
I had a bunch of edits done, but never officially did it. No, because I got into the music. Because rollerblading friends is what pulled me into filming the music. Because Pro, Pito.
Pro was a rollerblader?
Yeah.
Pro was a rollerblader?
That's why rollerblading is like a huge foundation for me. Was too? I think he tried. Yeah. If I'm not mistaken. I need confirmation. I need confirmation.
Shout out to that, bro.
You learn some new shit every day.
So it was that, and then Pro was going to battles.
Yes.
So I was just like, I went to a battle. That shit fucking blew my mind to bragging rights.
Yes.
Went to bragging rights.
But you went as a fan, no camera, nothing, just to view.
Just was there, and Pro got into the bragging rights. Yeah. Went all the way into the finals against Immortal Technique.
Right. Damn.
And I believe we always say he won, but the host was hating. He's like, there's too many Jersey people in here. And it was only like 15 of us, like a group of like 15 max was there. Yeah. I can tell you about this. I recently found the mini disc of bragging rights because my boy Jesus recorded the audio.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
So we have the audio that I need to like
some animation.
Get on eBay and get the
video?
The audio. Like, because it's on mini disc.
Yeah.
Oh, back then during mini disc.
Yeah, that was that time. Oh, so as you're there watching, and shout out to the brother Pro, doing the battle thing.
Yeah.
Shout out to the brother Max again, and shout out to the brother L.O.N.E if he was on them skates. But after, as you're there, are you like, damn, I should record this? This should be fire.
That was part of it. I was there like. But they didn't allow cameras. I saw people filming. Yeah. I saw one like because I had got a Canon GL something.
After you were using your sister's camera?
No, I was already after my sister's camera. I graduated.
Did she front on the camera ever?
Not really. She never really used
Oh, you got a
much,
good sister then. So. Shout out to that. My sister used to front on the little boombox.
She never used it.
So I think it was like
she was like that with the music and CDs and stuff like that.
Don't touch my shit. Older sister?
Older, yes.
Older sister. Don't touch my shit.
Yeah. That's how I was with the twins.
Yeah.
I was like, don't touch my shit, bro, because it would disappear.
And then,
so then you graduated to the new.
So through bragging rights, I was like, I have to film this. It's crazy. You got to look at this. So I started taking him to different battles. And because back then it was like I was the one with the whip first.
Right.
Taking him there, he put me onto EO Dub.
Nice.
And then I filmed a bunch of his battles. And one of his battles was I edited into a skate video. That's how much into it. I gotta find a copy of that to show you.
I was gonna ask, do you still have all your vintage
like archives?
Is dug deep into hard drives.
Yeah.
It's in the building. I just don't have easy access. I gotta find it because I didn't organize my hard drives like that. So
it's hard for like creatives to
organize.
Depending on the creative, right? Organizational skills are variable, but like it's not always. All creatives don't keep their early work at easy access.
True.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. No,
like they'll have it because most creatives store all their own shit.
I don't like it.
But it just won't be easily accessible.
I still have the old ass beats.
Yeah, of course, bro. Do you have a favorite music video?
In general?
In general, not something that you've done. Just like something that you saw that was like, oh shit.
There's so many, but one of my favorites is 99 Problems. Jay-Z.
Yeah, wow.
Because that edit, and then because my mentor that put me on to editing music videos. I started off editing them first before shooting them. We went to. All right, my bad. I had a little brain fart right there. Freaking, my mentor was like, "Yo, pick 3 of your favorite videos," and that's how I learned to direct through him. But he's the one that put me onto the story of the 99 Problems because it was shot. It wasn't a traditional way of shooting a video back then, like the treatment and the whole idea. And they went through 3 different editors to get to that last cut.
Okay.
And then I've always studied that video because he would tell me, if you're ever stuck on something, watch that video.
Yeah.
So I still watch that video like 1 to 2 times a month.
What do you mean it wasn't shot traditionally? What did they do?
They shot so much random B-roll and then so many performances. It's like, how do you squeeze all that into a 3.5 minute clip when they had so much good footage?
Right.
And then that's when I learned that style of editing quick and fast, and move into the beat, introduce something here, bring it back later, and it's like it becomes
you gotta know mad
engaging.
Little secrets of directors.
I got a lot. There's a lot of directing and editing tricks.
Yeah.
And
who's your favorite video director?
Favorite video director? Jesse Terrell.
Yeah.
Justin
Back in
Terrell,
the-
shout
That's
out
good
to
one,
him.
yeah.
Back in the day, because my first mentor, Edwin DeSena, he was the one that was like, yo, pick 3 videos when I was trying to learn. I went from editing his videos, I was like, oh shit, I learned how to do it, to I was like, yo, now I want to shoot it too.
Right.
Like, I want to do it too.
And this was after New York Film Academy?
Yeah.
This after New York
Okay.
Film Academy.
So that's when you met your first mentor.
Yeah. Well, that was through the skate connection. There was another skater, Haru, rest in peace.
Okay.
He brought me for like a couple years. He's like, yo, come shoot the reggaeton, the Latin stuff. I didn't care. I just want to shoot skating and pro battling. Like, I'm good with that. Like, I'm not trying to shoot that stuff. He's like, yo, I'm gonna pay you. I was like, oh, word.
Oh, that's different.
Oh, word. So I went to a Brooklyn Puerto Rican festival. That's the first thing I shot, and I had like better access than the TV networks. Like,
Right.
I was in front of the TV networks. And I was
Because of the homie?
Because of the homie. Because
nice.
he was part of putting that whole festival together.
Yeah.
So, yeah. So
And
I had that access. And then I saw a famous rollerblader, an OG rollerblader from New York on stage with Daddy Yankee.
Oh,
Some dude, Ray Mendez.
Nice.
And then that's
when
I
you
went
put
through
all
a
the
whirlwind.
worlds
I went from I want to shoot, finish the skate documentary and stuff, and then to shooting ass everywhere. The Puerto Rican festival, I'm seeing all this shit. And then when I started working with Haru, him taking me to all these parties and concerts, and I was just like, yo, that energy.
And giving you the
got crazy.
Supreme access.
And then he introduced me to Boy Wonder from Chosen Few. He's like
that's the producer, right?
yeah, super producer.
And
Connector.
that was over here?
That was in New York,
Like in the
but it
tri-state
happened.
area?
It happened through my rollerblading connection.
Yeah.
It all like kind of always
It
goes
all
back
branched
to that.
off from there.
Yeah.
Wow, that's crazy.
So that was a blessing, and I met Boy Wonder, and then I showed him I can edit. And then that's when he brought me to Edwin DeSena's house. He's like, oh, I'm gonna go to the editor because he's editing the documentary.
The Chosen Few documentary.
Yeah. He was editing that, and he wants me to meet him because he edited Chosen Few that took off. And then I came in at the tail end of them shooting the second documentary, which was a documentary of the national tour they did for Chosen Few 1.
Right.
And then, which introduced reggaeton to the U.S.
Pretty much, yeah.
So that happened. I'm over at Edwin DeSena's house, and the first day, I'm just like, he's editing Fuego, boxing video, Me Gustan Todas. He's editing it, and I'm there like looking at the timeline. I was like, so you're telling me, fuck my bad. So you're telling me you had the layers stacked like that, and you're just going in and choosing the best moment? He's like, yeah, that's how you edit a music video. I was like, yo, I don't want to be like out of bounds, like out of pocket, but can I get that? So I can study it. I want to learn that. That's cool as hell, because I kind of edit the same way, because I'm editing, I'm putting the base of the like Daddy Yankee on stage, but then I'm putting breakdancing on top, girls here, promotion, CDs, all this stuff happening, and then I'm like, yo, I kind of do that too. I was like, can I see that? So I grabbed it, and I did some crazy quick cuts to the beginning, and that made the cut. I didn't edit the video. I might edit like 15 seconds of it,
Exactly.
but I was there like on YouTube, like,
oh shit, I did that.
yeah, and then that's getting views, and that audience is blowing up.
Was he using some like next level equipment or program, or was it stuff you were?
It was a more
already
powerful
used to?
computer of mine, Apple, but Final Cut Pro, all that stuff. I was like, yeah, I got Final Cut Pro, I do this,
That's
I do
all
that.
stuff that you learned how to use in the film academy, though. They had probably all the best shit.
Yeah, I kind of knew it beforehand, and when I was in New York Film Academy, they were teaching it so basic that when he was done doing the whatever lesson of the day, I'd be like, yo, how do you do this? I already know all that. I know how to import it. I know how to do this. I know how to rewind. I know how to reverse and do all. I was like, I want to learn how to do this. And then I learned how to use After Effects while I was at New York Film Academy for Final Cut Pro.
Is that a different program, or is that just like an extension within
That's a different
Final
program.
Cut?
No, that's Adobe After Effects.
Different program.
Yeah, it's a whole other program, but it was easier for the idea that I wanted to make happen. He's like, oh, it's gonna take you forever in Final Cut Pro. Do it in this.
Oh, wow.
Do it in After Effects. And he showed me After Effects. So I did a 4-week a 4-week course.
Okay.
So the last,
within your regular
Curriculum.
the curriculum was learning how to use Final Cut Pro,
right, which is like the basic shit.
Yeah, it ended up being super basic, but and then there was people that I didn't know, and they're like, oh,
right.
you know how to do this? Oh, man, wow.
Yeah.
I learned how to import. No, but shout out to them, because everybody don't start at the same, starting point.
Point.
But it's a little whack when you're the one that knows, like, all the shit, and you're sitting there like,
I paid for this.
all right, my man, I know how to do that. Show me how to do some fucking fuego shit. Now, what was the homie's name? Edwin DeSena. Shout out to him.
Yeah, Dominican direct. He did a lot of big videos back in the day. And that's how I edited. That's how I started editing. I started editing Red Cafe videos and a couple other stuff, because Red Cafe was fucking heavy.
Yeah.
And
he was doing both reggaeton and hip hop.
Yeah, he was doing both. But his directing side, he was doing it back what I call the golden era of music videos. Like, they were like $50,000 and up videos.
Yeah.
And I was learning how to edit music videos with those.
Right.
He put me through a crazy like boot camp of how to be a better editor.
And back then there wasn't like, y'all were few. Like, people that could direct a video and edit it and knew.
Yeah, that
you know what I'm saying? How to do everything.
Rare.
Yeah, like it wasn't like a producer. Like, you could meet 10 producers of music. But to meet a video guy, you'd be like, oh shit. He got the camera, he knows how to edit.
Yeah, and then it was expensive to have all the equipment on deck and stuff like that. Like, I was spending like 15 grand on camera equipment just to have.
Right, and updating.
Like when HD first came out, and 1080p and all that first came out.
And back then, technology was moving kind of quick.
It started. It went from, because I was learning I learned how to edit when it was just film.
Yeah.
Like the only way you can get to on TV is if you shot Super 16 or 35 millimeter.
Right.
Now you're not getting on TV. Back then. So I learned how to edit film videos, because they would give it to me digitally, and I had to edit it, get the approval, and send it back to the film. The film house that processed the whole strip. So I had to set all that. I had to learn how to set that up perfectly for them. So I learned all that, and then at the same time, he's answering every director question I'm asking him. I'm doing editing sessions with him. I'm like, why does this take better than this one? Oh, I told them this. I was like, yo, you're doing too much of this stuff. Let's try doing this. Right. And then it's like, oh, okay. And then I was getting pointers from those kind of sets, and reacting to that, and then he brought me in. He introduced me to Red Cafe. I was at the I'm Ill set.
Yes.
In Brooklyn. That was
what did you do? You edited that one? Let me see.
I went on to edit it.
Right. Yes, you edited it.
Yeah. So I went over there.
Do you think there's a difference visually from film to digital?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Huge difference.
Which do you prefer?
I would have to say digital, because that's how I was able to take huge leaps forward and advance in this, because film is like, you gotta, that's why he was trained, like he was almost like mentoring me and training me to be ready for film, because it's a whole other approach, the way it's like freaking, that's just crazy. Those videos are like $5,000 an hour you're spending at the end of the day.
And it takes more hours.
So, and then the more you film, the more you gotta pay to process it, the more you gotta, so it all becomes, you only shoot exactly what
you need.
And so I was learning how to do that, and then the film cameras came out. I had the 1080p. I was learning how to direct with that 1080p camera. It was coming out right for digital? YouTube. That was cool for YouTube.
Those cameras are now digital?
Yeah, those were the mini DV tapes. I don't know if you remember the mini DV era.
Oh yeah, the little disc type shit.
Well, the little tapes. But they were like tiny little tapes, because all the tapes just kept getting smaller and smaller and smaller, until it's a hard drive now.
Yeah, I know what you're talking about.
So
and then you put them in the bigger tapes if you had to play them on VHS.
Exactly. So
damn, I still got them shits.
I got a collection of that too.
That's dope though. For anybody listening,
I ain't showing one right now.
Yeah, exactly. I got like 10 of them shits. For all my music people listening, we're asking these very specific questions because I want y'all to be able to relate it to music, right? So when the music equivalent would be the DATs and the actual reels, and how more difficult it was to
analog and digital. That's the difference.
Yeah. So even with music, it got easier to record and to edit and to
it went to you had to be into
shit.
you had to be in a studio like this. Like you couldn't build your own studio back then without like under 6 figures.
Right.
Like, you would need a crazy amount.
Exactly.
And then you would have to go into the studio. So that's the same thing. Now you can just
you
can almost record yourself with a phone.
Exactly.
And edit it and
distribute. It's crazy.
That's what I remember when you said about learning how to edit film. I remember when we did So West New York. Yo, we shot the same shot but in different places. Yeah. And we sent it to Audie. He edited right away. He wouldn't have done that if he was doing like if he was filming with film. You know what I'm saying?
Imagine how much
like you film what you need, not the excess.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
We wouldn't have been able to afford to shoot the video if it was with film. You shitting me?
Even just processing film is like, that's like 10, 15,000 between that range.
Plus, also there's a difference. Like you could tell a difference in between digital and film. Like
the same way you could tell the difference between a record,
audio.
And,
digital and analog.
Yeah. But there are certain qualities that are like nostalgic, right?
Yeah. You can't digitally mimic certain ways that film
captures,
especially when you not at the most basic consumer camera when you're dealing with the professional cameras and you're putting these serious lenses on it because the lenses are more important than the camera itself. Exactly. So those lenses, the way film films it,
it's different.
Like now digital is at the heels of it, but it's still not
it's
the
like
same.
An MP3 will always have a flat tone to it because it's so perfectly equal. Yeah. Where a record, like you can hear the nuances of the music, you know?
Exactly, yeah.
Do you have a favorite movie?
Favorite movie would probably...
Not favorite because like a favorite visually shot movie.
Yeah.
Like
my favorite is probably Stanley Kubrick, Clockwork Orange.
Wow. That's a weird-ass fucking movie, bro.
That movie, they bodied it. It was like, there was so much, it wasn't just an action, it was it was like a thriller, action, drama,
that's an ill flick.
Love story. Like it was like almost every type of movie you can think of in one. So I love that video. I mean that movie.
Yeah.
And I would reference it. I would always.
That's what I was gonna say. Did it inspire some of your the way you shoot and stuff?
I've used it like in treatments.
Yeah.
I was like, I want to do this kind of scene. I want to do this. I want to get the silhouette like this, and I'll get the picture of them under the bridge towards the beginning. I'll use that as the reference. Like, I want this kind of vibe when it's a group of people walking.
Yeah.
Do you remember what year that came out?
That was before I was born.
Yeah, that was
like
76, 75.
No, it had to be maybe 73, 74, something.
I asked because it's held up for 30, 40 years or something, 50 years or some shit. Yeah. And people still reference it as visually changing the game, kind of.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, that's dope, bro. Stanley Kubrick creating some classic ass shit back in the day and that shit stuff.
72.
72.
Look at that, 72, and that's 52 years.
Yeah.
And people still notice it and recognize it. You feel me? Like right away, you're like, oh,
Stanley Kubrick's a beast.
Yeah, bro. You've traveled the world with your profession.
Yes.
Right? What are like some of your favorite places that you've gotten to direct at?
To direct that?
Yeah. Or to shoot at, or
just be,
Yeah.
Oh, man.
I don't know. Do you travel like as an editor? Do they be like, yo, come travel with us as an editor?
They have.
Yeah?
I've spent like nearly 3 months in DR straight editing one of the Chosen Few documentaries.
Wow.
Stayed up in a Dominican dude. Like that was a humbling experience because they didn't have running water normally. Like you had to take bird baths pretty much over there. It was freaking weird.
Parts
it was
of
weird
DR
at first, and then the lights would go out. There'd be no power. I know about. Then they'll have like 5 car batteries set up to be able to turn on to keep power on the computers and stuff like that.
For y'all to keep editing and shit.
That's how their home was back then. That's how they kept their fridge on. So over there they couldn't even like keep food. Like you couldn't stack up the
refrigerator.
Had to get like a
day's worth.
You had to get exactly.
So like a day or two and that's it.
So that was humbling. So I've been, DR is amazing. I shot a lot there. Brazil, Paris.
I hear Paris is beautiful. Right?
I've been to Tequila, Mexico.
That sounds
where they
dangerous.
make tequila, where the agaves at, where they go all the agave. I've been there, all over the U.S. Germany's off the hook to party.
Hell
It's
yeah,
amazing over there.
To party, really?
I heard Berlin
man,
is crazy. Yo.
When I was on tour with Red Café, I was on tour with him out there like 8 or 9 times. I did tours with him. That shit was a movie the whole time. Like a lot of stuff that I couldn't shoot.
Strict.
There was so much stuff that I couldn't shoot, or it was just off the clock, and then all this shit. They're wild over there.
When you say there's stuff you couldn't shoot, why? Restrictive.
There's people in the room.
Areas or something.
Yeah, there's restricted stuff. There's just the personal stuff happening. I'm there just to shoot the tours stuff. So you turn off the camera here during these conversations. I'm over there. When I was on tour with him, one of the off days, we went and played basketball with, I forgot the singer now, super R&B singer. Yeah. And went and played basketball with them over there in
Was
Germany.
he nice? Like.
Yeah, they were moving.
It was all right. I'll challenge all of them. Shout out to Red Cafe. A slept-on ghostwriter.
Yeah, for real.
A slept-on musician, artist, period. Because I don't think he ever got to the level that he deserved for the skill level that he presented. I always thought
but he's a big facilitator and connector.
But he does a lot of
too. Like a lot of people go to Germany and tour. And he's like the the bridge to the promoters over there, because over there they be jerking artists like crazy. So it's like like the introduction's important on how who you meet.
He always seemed like a brother,
especially now that's more independent now. That was back then through the labels, and he'd be like, I'm assuming he got booking fees like.
Oh yeah, as he should. Yeah. And y'all still in contact and stuff?
I haven't talked to him in a minute. But
you was with him for a while, right?
Yeah, for like 2 years, 3 years.
It was mad videos that you sent of his.
Right, I edited, and it was through the editing that I gained his trust. And then my mentor was like, "Yo, he's about to put out the No Witnesses mixtape." He's like, "Yo, shoot a trailer for it." Yeah. He's like, "Do something crazy." I'm like, "I bet." And I got together with a group of people and we shot the dude being tortured. Yes. But the dude being tortured and Red Cafe were on 2 separate days. They were never in the same room together. So I shot the trailer and the dude Red Cafe put it out the next day. Yeah. And then I was just like, yo, we could turn this into a music video. And he came to the same location that I shot at, and we shot his performances. And I put it all together.
Nice. That's dope. And this was around the time of what? Like when he says put it out tomorrow, where are you putting it? YouTube?
That was YouTube.
Was that like maybe YouTube, MySpace days or something?
MySpace, tail end of MySpace.
Maybe World Star? Yeah.
World Star was dominating.
For a while, World Star was like
the MTV. Yeah, the place where you went to get all your internet videos and shit. Yeah.
Shout out to that. Rest in peace to Q. And shout out to the brother Tito Grams, who had a lot of work up there. Yeah. Shout out to the brother Ray Cuts, who had mad work up there. Jesus Christ. And shout out to Red Cafe. Still doing his thing, I believe.
And then from there, and then through doing a music video with L.O.N.E, we won the BET.
Oh, the 16.
Yeah, the Hot 16.
Oh, you shot that video? That is him like
by himself.
Watching himself.
Yeah, like yo, the video, the rules were they just wanted people to just be in front of the camera and just spit your shit real quick. And we shot a music video, and they were like, the only rule is you're the only one that can be in the video.
Oh, that's
so that's how that concept came out. I was like, all right, we're gonna do it. You're gonna be your own hater.
Right. Yeah. Shout out to that, man. Yeah. That must have been fun.
And then I bring that up because we go to Atlanta for the BET Awards. That was the only year that they didn't put the winner
in the cipher.
Yeah. L.O.N told us about that when he came and did the Provolone episode.
Yes, he did. Didn't he tell us a story? Yo, I don't want to blow it up.
So we went out there, and then my mentor was shooting. Edwin DeSena was shooting Money. In Atlanta, to catch all the cameos that he got into that. So he invited me over, and I went with L.O.N, and we went over there. And
y'all are still fairly young, right?
Yeah.
Like 20,
I'm still
in your 20s somewhere.
Yeah.
Oh, hell yeah.
Yeah, like mid-20s still.
That's fire, bro.
It's been like 25, 26 at that point, maybe younger.
So you're growing with the technology.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right? Like, y'all are both growing at the same time.
Moving with the technology.
That's fire, bro.
So yeah, we went to the Money set.
Yeah.
And then I'm there chilling. Rec Cafe's like, you be traveling? I was like, yeah. And that's how I ended up on tour. From there, I went on tour with Rec Cafe the first time.
Yeah.
He said, oh, you'll jump around, because I'm there shooting behind the scenes, and he saw the behind the scenes. I think I sent him an edit for that to check out, and then from there I was on tour with him.
And you traveled national and international with him.
Yes.
That's dope. Shout out to Red Cafe, man.
He used to kill it, and he used to always demand, like, and his rider was to fly back from Amsterdam.
Okay.
And he wasn't a crazy pothead back then, but he knew the rest of us were. The rest of the crew was. So we'd go over there. We'd go over there and chill out, like, and it wouldn't be like stay there overnight. Like the longest we were there was like, the shortest was like 6 hours. The other one was like 21 hours we were there for.
Enough time to get right.
And get right, smoke, party. The partying over there was crazy. The food over there was amazing. So
food, really?
Yeah.
I've never heard of Amsterdam like for their food.
Yeah.
I've heard of, you know, obviously it's the budget. Well, yeah, they figure, right? If you get niggas high, you gotta feed them, so you might as well have. Or they got whack food, but everybody just hired up and they be like, yeah, that food was banging. Nah, nigga, this was trash. You just hired up.
Imagine.
Nah.
Shouts to Amsterdam, baby.
Yeah, yo, I've yet to go to Amsterdam.
I want to go still.
But yeah,
it's worth it. That's like the motherland of weed. I know Cali now is like what we're used to, but Amsterdam is
still the Mecca.
Amsterdam.
Still the Mecca, yeah.
Just imagine back then we was paranoid to freaking
to smoke.
To smoke.
Yeah.
I'm there standing next to a cop on a horse, and I'm like, I can't. He's like, yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, when we were young, we used to hear about like the cafes. Like,
you go in there, they'll either roll it for you.
They'll roll you your joint. You be chilling. What? That shit sounded like paradise.
Hell yeah, we're like, goddamn, man.
I did a video over there. There's one of the Red Cafe videos that has a lot of Amsterdam. Amsterdam, and shot one in North Bergen, the other half of the video.
Oh shit!
Red was in North Bergen?
Yeah.
Nice.
That's funny, bro. I always forget that mad rappers just be right around the way, Edgewater, all this shit, Union City, all this shit. So while you're doing Red, are you still doing a lot of the Latin music, or are you only focused on Red?
Red was that's when in the Latin music I was coming up, but they were just keeping me as an editor. And I wasn't really getting those directing opportunities.
Right.
And then I went on tour with Red, and then while we're on tour, we're shooting videos too back then.
That you're directing.
Yeah, that's when like the Canon cameras came out. The digital, like the picture cameras, you start shooting. I forgot which camera I had, but those cameras came out, so we're shooting videos, and those are good for YouTube, getting mad views. World Star getting mad views, and then he gave me the opportunity to do the Omarion video.
Okay.
The Get It In or something like that, and shot that in Miami. That was crazy. That video was like, we're shooting it for it to come out Memorial Day weekend.
Okay, but when are you shooting it? Like
we went to Miami early. Maybe like that Monday, Tuesday. We're shooting the video. Wednesday, Thursday, I'm editing the video, and then it's like, yo, we're gonna release it Friday.
Nice.
And then Diddy saw a copy of it. I mean, he saw the cut. He's like, yo, I need to do a cameo in it. So it went from Thursday night we're done to Sunday he's flying in for the cameo. And then he never flew in. He never flew in, but that was when I think he first signed with he had like a joint venture with Bad Boy, and they got it on TV, the video. And then
but he never made the cameo.
No, Diddy never came out.
Motherfucker made you wait for nothing. But at that time, Diddy was Diddy. And you'd wait for that fucking...
so that happened, and then that led to...
And Red was working a lot with Diddy at that time, if I'm not mistaken.
He was ghostwriting.
He was doing a lot of his writing,
And then that's when I went back to the Latin thing. They were like, all right, you're going to direct the bigger videos.
Yeah, because they saw your work.
Yeah, and then the budgets were by hip-hop, like the budgets went down quick when the digital era kicked in.
Right.
It went down quick like that. A lot of directors and producers and all that stuff couldn't transition because they're used to having $150,000 to make it. Now they're like, yo, do it for 35.
Right.
You're like, what the fuck? So that created the budgets were going down, so I wasn't getting the opportunities in the English market, but the Latin, the budgets were going up.
Right, because that's when they were the Latin wave explosion.
Exactly. The early 2Gs, yeah.
So that's when I started directing Latin videos, and I had more creative opportunities there.
And it's probably more fun, bro. Keep it real. It's probably more fun. You want to direct the homies in Brooklyn playing dice, or you want to direct the honeys in Puerto Rico shaking ass?
Yeah. No,
Let's
I was
be
going to
honest.
say that because a lot of the artists are from the Caribe, you know. So I'm saying,
Yeah, you kidding me?
you're going over there to shoot, you know what I'm saying? Yeah, so.
That's
Back
fire,
then,
bro.
I was the first person to shoot with the Red 1 in
The
DR.
camera.
Yeah.
In DR.
Yeah.
Like they didn't want to use the camera.
Right.
We've heard so many stories about
I was
this
in
one.
DR, like I had one of my boys, Alex Gomez, SO Entertainment, shout out to him. He bought the red camera back then.
Oh.
So I'm just like, yo, and he wanted, cause he was doing weddings and stuff like that, but he had fun shooting the music videos and stuff like that. I was like, yo, you wanna go to DR, shoot a video? He's like, all right. So we go to DR, but the director out there was giving friction, like pushback. He didn't want to direct with me. He didn't want a co-director or share the directing. It wasn't like I was going to co-direct. So we're there, and then the same camera that I was coming up with, the 1080p camera, that same camera I was coming up with was their big camera out there. They didn't know what red. Remember, internet's still a little.
Right.
Yeah, exactly.
It's not, the information's not crossing over so quick.
Right.
So I'm out there. I'm like, yo, I got the red camera. We're gonna shoot with this. He's like, what? And they fought back to me, and I had to go sit down at a lunch, big ass fucking meeting, and the dude kept saying no, and then my Spanish is bad.
Right.
And I'm telling him like, yo, look, this Chinese company, we got this, and they're like, red, what, roll, what? Like that.
Not
I'm
knowing
like, yo,
that this is
wave.
the fucking Maybach of cameras.
Exactly.
And
This is the
shit.
wave. So finally the one dude, it was a trio of them. It was like a team of 3. So one of them spoke English. He lived in the U.S. for a little while. Yeah. So he finally showed up, and he's like, "What camera you have?" And he had to tell them like, "Yo,
stop fucking around and put this thing on board already."
So boom, so now, and then I smoked. After that, we went to the hotel, smoked with him. I started showing him the footage because it was the Fuego Que Buena Tu Ta video, and we shot it. We started in New York.
Yeah.
And shot the second half in DR because he wanted like a desert.
Right.
And these people had to connect to be able to shoot with the desert. They wanted to keep the same quality. These people are fighting me, and I'm like, boom, boom. So finally, we're working together. They saw the footage, like, oh, you shot that? I was like, yeah, I had these lenses. Can we get these lenses? He's like, I know who to call. And then the El Indio, this freaking guy in DR, he's like the filmmaking god over there.
Yeah.
Especially to the urban market, but he works commercial, TV, movies, all madness out there. And he was just like, you got what camera? He was like, the red camera? I was the first person to bring it over. He's like, word? He sent me a crew, a fucking 16-wheeler truck of lights and equipment. He's like, yo, shoot the best shit you could shoot, you can do right now, for a price that was like unheard of, because he wanted his team to work with the red camera.
Right, just
we had
to
this
see
crazy
it.
DP, we had this crazy director of photography out there. I had like 20 people working for us.
Dang.
It was sick for
It
a
was a
price,
legit crew
for a
and shit.
low, yeah. And then from there,
And just because you had this fancy
There's one camera. Yeah.
yep. And
Back
then
then-
I was like, yo, I want to use these lenses.
Yeah.
And they
And he
hit
had
him up
them?
for the lenses.
El Indio?
Yeah.
Oh, shout out
He had
to
the
El Indio.
lenses.
Shout out to the plug, baby.
And then
At that
and then
time,
took
what
off.
was the red camera like selling for, I guess?
Back then, it was like, to have it all up and running was like $65,000, $75,000.
Dang.
And we were out there with that, and he was just like, and then he ended
That's
up,
fire.
he ordered the camera. As soon as the
course.
crew was like, yo, and they saw the footage,
Yeah.
and then they saw the way I edited the video, all that shit, they were like,
But
oh,
that's the
shit.
thing too. It's not only how much it costs, but the fact to know how to use it.
Yeah, and
You know
the
Well, that's
yeah, it was
probably why he
information.
sent his crew, too.
Exactly. To watch you and,
Yeah.
and see what you're doing.
And then
yeah.
the editing side, I was editing red footage through Edwin DeSena because he was trying to adapt, and I get the red, and they're like, yo, you got to convert the footage. I put it to convert. Back then, the computer was just like, it said 5 days.
Dang.
I'm like, what the fuck? So I waited a day. The next day, I was like, yo, I can't take this. Yeah. I called Red, the company, directly. I'm like, yo, how is it, like, this is crazy. You know what I mean? Like, how can we speed this up? And they taught me how to, through the phone, how to edit the proxy files. I went from the labels expecting the edit like 10 days later, because it's like 5 days to transfer, and then you got to give them the 3 to 5 days for us to do our part before we show the client.
Exactly.
And all of a sudden, we sent them the cut at day 4. When they're expecting a day 10, we sent day 4. What? And then from there, I got a lot of editing work.
Right, because now you're doing it in half the time.
Ones.
Exactly. Not only that, because you're showing them, you know what the fuck you're doing.
Yeah, but they don't know that
that's
his secrets. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. But he knows.
And then eventually, everybody learned it.
Of course, after a while,
of course.
But if you're the first, then
you're the pioneer.
One of the first. I'm assuming it, but I know I was getting.
Yeah. And that's
work
smart
that
to reach out to them, to Red themselves. Like, yo, how do you fucking do this?
Yeah. Because it was like Chinese trying to figure it out. I didn't even know there was an option. Yeah. They were like, yo, film like this and do this. And luckily those options were on when I saw the footage and stuff like that. Wow.
And is that now like the standard, the Red?
Yeah, that's
or is it still like exclusive?
No, technically ARRI cameras are the best.
ARRI took out the Red?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I've never heard of ARRI.
Quality's better.
ARRI Alexas. No, actually I have another camera that's bigger. That's the movie camera. Red is like, it's budget friendly. At all levels, yeah. Even back then it was budget friendly.
But back then it was the top of the line, no? Or were there more?
No, back then they would still do film.
Oh,
it was like, those indie filmmakers can use the Red.
That's funny.
Yeah.
But Los Angeles, like Hollywood.
Yeah.
Nah, they're not using.
They're looking at the Red like
Yeah.
See a little turtle.
And then, like I said, and then everything changed with technology, with internet, and I don't have to go to the movies right now, and you know what I mean? It's like a lot of things changed, and then Netflix destroyed it,
and now Tubi.
Like
anybody can be a fucking movie.
Netflix helped change the game with that.
Yeah.
They were like, all right, we'll do that. We'll give you a budget to shoot with the Red and go on.
That's fire though. I fuck with Netflix and their willingness to work with smaller film houses, I guess, or whatever.
Yeah. That's true.
I asked you this earlier before we started recording. Have you ever had to record and go somewhere and then you get there and you're like, what the fuck am I doing here? I'm about to get murdered in this or
as
whatever.
Murder, like dangerous.
Or if you're in the jungle and you're like, what the fuck? I'm about to get killed by a snake or something.
I got 2 stories that come up to mind. One was the recent one is in Puerto Rico. We go to Puerto Rico to shoot, and we wanted to shoot in the projects, and I don't know, it was like the second worst projects or the worst projects that wasn't San Juan. It was like another town, city.
And you can't even get into them projects, if I'm not mistaken, because trust me, I've never been even near
we went to one, we drove like maybe like 45 minutes from San Juan, and we show up with the dude the plug, my boy Manolo, shout out to him. He had his car look like it was a DT car. Yeah. The DT, the big body DT car.
Yeah.
Crown Vic.
Yeah.
It's hardcore, tints, everything. So we're going into that, and he calls his plug like 5 minutes, like a couple blocks away. He's like, yo, but I'm in this car.
Yeah.
You understand? I'm in this car. They're like, all right, when you show up, put the windows down and your hands out the thing. Yo, motherfucker machine guns in the roof.
And shit, right?
In the roof. The hood, like they were like, yo, cops don't come in here.
Yeah.
I was just like, oh boy. Yeah. And then like the worst of the worst dude is like intimidating as hell. Like you look at him like, oh man, he's gonna kill me. I don't want to. And he was cool as hell with me. And then he'll be like, what the fuck? Like yelling at the people, and then be like, oh, what you need? I got you, bro. You want something to eat? My grandmother cooked. You want something?
Yo, killers be sweethearts, bro.
Yo, and then the kids and then they were souped up. It was Papi Wilo. I was shooting.
That's the artist?
And then young kids loved him.
Yeah.
Like there was like 9, 10, 12-year-olds spitting his verses to him while we're there shooting the videos. It was amazing. And then like I said, that was just the entrance to it was crazy. But leaving it, I was just like, I would live here. I don't mind. They protect each other. The hood part of it,
if you're,
and they kept that out.
If you're in it.
And the hours I was there, they weren't like hustling outside. They like they accommodated us.
They regulated shit over there. Yeah.
And the second time that it was a dangerous situation in Brazil, I went on tour with L.O.N.E.
Another dangerous.
Which this used to be their room back in the day.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Oh,
so I go to Brazil with them. We're driving, which city? I don't remember which city right now, but we're driving and I'm in the front. It's like a 2-floor bus tour that we were on. So I'm in the front with the driver, chilling, shooting. And then he's telling me, he's like, yo, once we get to, the translator at the thing is telling me what he's saying. He's like, yo, once we cross the bridge, you gotta stop shooting. I'm like, yeah, whatever. So, yo, once we get to the bridge, you gotta stop shooting. I was like, all right, whatever.
But he's not telling you why?
Yeah.
No, he's like, I didn't understand it. He's like, yo, it's too dangerous.
Oh, okay.
And I'm like, I'm good. So I keep shooting. We get over the bridge and the bus pulls over. He's like, listen, I'm not gonna continue driving if the camera's here. Like, it's dangerous. So they finally made it clear, like, yo, this motherfucker will shoot the bus.
Just for the camera.
Because we were going, oh, you know why? Because we had to detour out because the AC broke in the bus. So we were going to the closest headquarters of that bus, and it was in the hood. And we get over there, so I was like, all right, I'll put the cam. Like, I don't want it to be this serious. Like, there's just regular footage. So I sit back up upstairs where I'm at, and motherfucker, we're driving, and we made these like 2 turns, and all of a sudden, this motherfucker with machine guns outside, chilling like almost like every street, like every corner almost, like it was just like, and then it felt like the more we drove in, the worse it was getting. It's like, yo, why is it like this? Like, yo, we're in the middle of, I forgot what.
And that's their land, bro. That's
whatever
their hood.
Shit.
Yeah, the cops don't come, whoever don't come, they run that shit, bro. And if they don't want you there,
you not supposed to be.
And again, I'm talking mad shit because I've never been there, never been close, and probably never will be because I'm cool off bullets.
Yeah.
But it was crazy. I was like, yo, and I apologized to the driver. I was like, yo, I'll follow your lead from here on in.
Yeah, they be knowing, bro.
Yeah.
Now, Brother Ray, I got to give you your props because you've had your mentors, and you've taken that, and now you've whether you know it or not, you've mentored like kind of like the next generation, right? I know the brother F, you've showed him some stuff. I know the brother J. Little, shout out to him. You've showed him some stuff, and I believe you've even taken them traveling with you to help you out.
Yeah, I took them on one to Puerto Rico. We went.
So that's beautiful, bro. Congratulations on that, man. Is that just the person you are? Like, people help me, let me help the next few?
Yeah, people that. Like, I guess if I see myself in, you know what I mean? If their passion, if I connect with somebody's passion, I have no problem help. Yeah. Enough for them to take the next step.
Right.
I don't sit there and give out all my gems and everything, but once I see somebody passionate about filmmaking, I have no problem in giving them the pointers I think they need right there in the moment.
That's beautiful, bro.
And I've had that blessing through Edwin DeSena and then more recent mentor, Ulysses Torero. Because remember, I said Jesse Torero. I've edited I edited 3 Jesse Torero videos.
Yeah.
That was like a blessing.
And how'd you meet those brothers?
Through Boy Wonder.
The producer.
Yeah. Boy Wonder. They had a deal. Their family company had a deal with YouTube for a YouTube channel that they were gonna pay for all the videos.
Nice.
And then that's when Boy Wonder was a 1 call, and you connected to the 20 of the top artists just through him. So why are we gonna like try to go through a label and stuff like Boy Wonder can do that for us?
Right.
So now he started. They started shooting Boy Wonder, and it was Ulysses directing them. So Boy Wonder's like, yo, I'm gonna get you to edit one of them. So boom, he gets me to edit the video. I'm in DR, so they have to send the video to DR. And all this time wasting, and he's like, and I get on the phone with Ulysses, he's frustrated. He's like, yo, I should have had a cut already.
But when he wants you send it, you mean physically send it?
The
or
hard
digitally
drive.
send
no,
it?
The hard drive.
Like
there wasn't no clouds.
Yeah, it wasn't
none
transferring like that.
None of that. So Ulysses was a little like ticked off because I'm not his editor.
Right.
His editor actually is the dude that edited 99 Problems.
Damn.
Some dude.
So he was probably right there chilling.
So
and
I'm
like,
there.
damn, if I would have gave it to the homie, it would have been done already.
So they sent me the 2 videos that Boy Wonder, the first 2 that they shot with Boy Wonder, and he demanded. He's like, "Yo, I'll do this, but you need to put on
the homie.
to put me on." So I had the 2 videos in DR, and I'm just like, "Oh yeah, if you want, not if you want, you got a treatment." He's like, "The treatment didn't work out." I was like, "All right, so how do you want me to edit?" Like usually a director will give you certain things. Use this scene here. Use this at the end. This is the beginning. He's like, "Nah, just do you."
Damn.
I'm like,
on your first collaboration?
Yeah, like he didn't care. He was waiting for a bad cut to be like, "Let's send it to my guy."
Right.
Yeah.
I understand. I don't know. You know what I mean? I don't know Jesse Turrell. I'm inspired by them. So I'm there on the phone. I was like, "Oh shit, I gotta show out," and I bodied the videos, bodied them. Like he was like, "Holy shit!" Like when he got on the phone with me again, and then I sent them both cuts. So I went right there, edited the first video, done quick. Like it was like barely 48 hours. He gets the cut, and then barely 24 hours from there, he gets the other video. He's like, "Holy shit!" So he's like, "It's not perfect, but I need to do an editing session with you. Fly back here to Jersey, and get in an editing session with him, and then we fucking hit it off. You know what I mean? Professionally, like a super homie. Like damn, we're like damn near best friends at certain points.
That's what's up.
Like we were.
Now, an editing session is what? Y'all together editing the video, and he's kind of telling you like,
it's like he's telling me what he didn't like, and then he also wanted to pick my brain because he's like, "Oh, why'd you do this here and this there?" I was like, "Oh, to introduce this storyline that you had," and boom, boom. He's like, and then there's other videos. I don't know if it was the first 2, but he'll be like, "Listen, Ray, I don't like that cut right there, but why'd you put it?" Like he'll tell me that
because I have subliminals.
Because I have subliminals. Like when I edit music videos, I feel like that's my way of that's my verse.
Yeah.
That's me throwing down to the project.
That's his signature.
And I talk to people through my
visuals.
editing. Yeah, through that and visuals too. It translates into the directing. But I'm there like I want to say something. There's certain words are the lyrics are being said. I show it. Certain editing styles because the beat's doing something, and he was blown away by that. He's like, "That's what I'm talking about. Like, there's got to be layers to this." So there was one time he was just like, "Why do you have the curtain there? Like, it's not the best shot. Like, it wasn't even meant. It was like before the camera went to shoot what it needed to shoot. The curtain was like waving like that." He's like, "Oh, why'd you put that shot there?" I was like, "Oh, the curtain is playing the guitar." You know, bachata, ding, 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 the bachata stuff. I'm like, and it was moving, ding, 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 ding. It was moving to it. He's just like, "I love it now. Leave it." He wanted to take it out, and then once he saw,
once he understood it,
so that happened, and he knows I'm always throwing in subliminals. But there's times that he'll call me when the video, like, we watch videos hundreds of times before they come out. His videos come out, and he's like, "Yo, Ray, did you show this B-roll here because of this?" I'm like, "Yeah." He's like,
"I knew it."
Yeah. So he knows.
That's dope.
And there's times that we had editing, he'll demand the label and whoever, because I worked with him outside of Boy Wonder as well, he'll demand editing sessions just to bug out and chill out. He's like, "No, now I have to find something to change, Ray. You can't have a perfect cut. No. It's never heard. It's unheard of. It's not a perfect cut." And we'll sit there and watch the video 100 times, look at the and it wouldn't be like change the edit. It would be like, you know what, I like her eyes in this moment. It's the same thing. You're switching out the eyes, but give me these eyes. I like these better. And then it worked out like that.
That's dope, man. That's a dope relationship.
And then from there, he co-signed me into Jesse Turrell and Mike Cole, which is another super director. That he has a sick style that I edited a few of his videos as well.
Yeah. That's dope, bro.
So
the brand grew, the Ray Cuts brand, and then you ventured into all these different aisles. After the Latin wave started chilling, you know what I'm saying? Like we had the big explosion, and then it kind of just became normal, right? Like it only became it was integrated almost.
It was complicated.
You had the New York living out here perspective. Around the world,
it's not.
It's just
it's still
it's still crazy. Like when I was,
the wave is still rocking?
Yeah.
Yeah?
Yeah.
No shit.
That's why Latin music became the number one genre.
Yeah.
I don't know if it still is at this moment, but it's blew past freaking country music, hip hop,
That's right,
all that blew past it.
I know even like last year or 2 years ago, they were saying that labels are focusing on Latin artists because that's the.
And it's like, remember, we got 26 countries as our core, the Latin, Hispanic, Latin country. We got 26, but then we're embedded in everything. Yeah. Like when I was on tour, Red Café, we're listening on the radio, Fuego, que bueno tu ta. I'm tripping. Where was that one? It was in Paris. We're driving in Paris. I'm like, oh, put the radio on. I shot that video.
Oh, shit. And they don't know Spanish.
Yeah, they don't know Spanish. Good music. And he's like, yo, if it's playing out here,
you
know what I mean? There's something happening. So,
that's happening. Shout out to that, though. Keep fucking rocking and rolling. My Latino brothers and sisters.
And then now, like I said, now these artists.
Well, look at Bad Bunny now. Like, he's an international star. Like,
he took over the world.
He's a household name.
But even on the come up, you know what I mean? Like, you know, like an artist over here on the come up, you don't get paid for shows like that. You know what I mean?
It's a different come up over there.
Over there, they'll find an audience somewhere because they got 26 countries to start
and from. And they can tour off one song or off their first song even. That's dope, bro. It's a different market. It's a different time, bro.
And then the way they are too, it's cutthroat, but it's not cutthroat over there. Like they help each other.
They're more willing.
Yeah, they help each other. Like over there, like it used to be weird editing 4 verses, but that was always in the Latin market. But that's what they would do. Like in Puerto Rico, they'll all mix up different crews, different stuff, and then the song takes off, or one of the artists takes off on another song. Then they go back and help each other. They go back and do all that stuff, and
that's what we need to do, bro.
They even, to put money in people's pockets, they'll have one artist write for the other.
Yeah, just so he could get a spot on the song.
And then he'll get points. He'll get points or whatever royalties on the song for the lyrics, and then they can establish their career through that as well. So over there, it's very
collaborative,
and
more welcoming and helpful. Yeah, over here, like you said,
and then they beef too because the rap battles.
Oh no, when they beef is different.
It's crazy over there.
Yeah, and over there, like for instance, Puerto Rico, right? Puerto Rico, it's not the biggest island, so if you beef, it's not like
it's a small world over there.
Yeah, you're gonna bump into each other, bro, and y'all be too gun happy and violent.
They're crazy over there.
Man. I love Puerto Rico, bro. I was there last week, and
nice.
I love that shit, but I know to stay the fuck on the beach.
You better.
Hell yeah, bro. What's your favorite place that your traveling has took you to?
Favorite place?
Yeah, I don't know if I asked you that earlier. I know we said you traveled a lot, but what was the favorite spot it took you to?
I don't know.
So many.
Hard to say, so many.
What?
Barcelona, Madrid is dope.
Damn, Barcelona's probably dope, bro.
Argentina's dope. Nice. There.
Shout out to the Argentines in the building. We got Sebi, the nature boy, in the building today. Seba, perdón.
Nature boy.
He shoots and edits his own nature films of him swimming underwater and fighting sharks and shit.
That's crazy.
So shout out to that. Yeah, that's a good brother right there.
Hell yeah.
So what's the evolution after the videos? That's when it went into the documentary?
What?
Like your evolution, right? Because you did the editing, then you went into the directing, you're doing the videos and stuff, you did the trailers, you got with Red, traveled the world, all this good stuff, and then you went into documentaries?
No, I kept grinding out with doing music videos and stuff like that. And then now I'm trying to steer away from being so dependent on the music industry. So I'm doing other event work, some documentary. I'm trying to break into the commercial circle. That's such a small circle that I want to get in there. So little by little, working with another brother. Shout out to my boy Power. We're establishing our media company and trying to get those
connections and
those corporate jobs and connections and stuff, so that and use our urban young perspective. because the corporate world and the commercial world, they're older. You know what I mean? It's such a small crowd that they need the youth input, and we're, you know what I mean? As old as we are, we're young and we're more.
Right.
We have we have our finger on the pulse of the younger generation more. So.
And hip hop and music is in everything, right? So like our genres or our culture has breached every aspect of every other American culture. So
you got the hip hop side, and then you got the Latin influence now that is becoming such a big market and important.
That they know to invest in it because there's money in there.
Why not have that perspective on your team? So.
But I asked you about documentaries because you sent us the award-winning trailer for Modern Day Miracles.
Oh, that was back in the day.
Which was a sober message, but it's an important message from what I saw. Yeah. So how'd you end up being involved in that?
That was, if I'm not mistaken, that was back when I was doing my Craigslist hunt.
Yeah?
Like on Craigslist looking for jobs, and they were looking for an editor for the documentary. Or they were looking for a shooter to shoot it, because I shot a lot of most of the interviews of that. I shot. So they wanted a team. I connected with them, and I fell in love with the storyline.
Right.
You know what I mean? Because it was all people,
real
10 years sober, you know what I mean? And from so many different perspectives, like making it a more everyday conversation.
Right.
Instead of it just blowing up, like getting people to be comfortable to say you have a problem and stuff like that. So I like that message and the different people we met, and there's like a super mobster lawyer that we interviewed, and that I don't know the names of the super criminals from back in the day, but he helped like a lot of them from Hoboken.
One of them, John Gotti. Oh, from Hoboken? Oh, so if I knew, I wouldn't say. Nah, but I thought that was dope, man. During that process, did it ever get like difficult or emotional to record these people? Or in any of your experiences that you've done, does it ever get hard to like shoot somebody when they're telling you some real shit?
No, I get into it.
Not hard to shoot it, right? But like, do you feel it? Like, you know,
like you're going through it with them. There's certain things like, say, interviews. There's certain interviews that
you're like, oh.
Yeah, you get goosebumps hearing what they're talking about, especially if they open up and they get comfortable with sharing.
Yes.
That gets crazy. And then there's like being on stage and seeing the ruckus or feeling the stage shake when the crowd goes crazy and stuff like that. Like all those experiences.
That's gotta be crazy.
Like I said, stamping my passport was just like the easiest way to get me to work.
Yeah, exactly.
Yo, you want to go here? Let's go.
Hell yeah. What we doing? Who cares?
Yeah. Shoot a video, baby.
Yes, sir. Damn. So I know you mentioned that you're looking to get into the commercial aspects, but do you have any desires to get into like shooting a movie or shooting a series? Or
that would be my like ultimate goal, is to be part of a major film. It's definitely my goal. Hopefully, you know what I mean, it'll happen. That's an old man's game too, though. I feel like I'm gaining the experience to be able to step into that within a significant circle.
Right.
So that's my goal, and that's how I always edited too, because editing is my way of telling the story on whatever the circumstance, behind the scenes, event, music video, document, everything is a way of story. You're telling a story in one way or another. So I love that. Movie has always been my influence, and I apply that to the music videos, because a lot of my music videos will have a storyline. If it's up to me, it should have a storyline.
Right.
So even though I do performance dance and all those type of videos, that's easy to do, but I love the storyline videos. And I would run with that. And like I said, then for me, it's practice for movies.
Right.
And then I developed a style. Like at one point, I had a lot of music videos they would hire me just for the intro. Not for the music video, not for when the music kicks in, but for the intro of the music video.
To set the tone of it.
Because I got good at doing that through editing it at first, and then I was just like, that's how I developed a lot of my styles, where there would be an intro to set the tone.
Right, because you say the video is your way to tell the story. So
Also
the intro
editing,
is that's mad important.
So I always had a movie approach to it, not just the common saying of oh we're shooting a movie. You know, I literally like a narrative.
Like an actual movie,
You
actually
with
had
an
a cinematic
intro,
approach.
a middle,
a narrative, exactly.
conclusion. Yeah.
Act 1, Act 2, Act 3.
Exactly.
I even write treatments like that. Yo, Act 1, this is gonna happen.
Right.
Act 2, this problem's gonna act. Act 3, you're gonna solve it like this.
Yeah.
Boom.
I miss mini movie videos, like 6-minute videos that were bad. Hell yeah, Thriller, Victory.
I have a couple long videos.
Yeah,
I did one with Jon Z and Baby Rasta. Baby Rasta is
a big time artist.
from Baby Rasta and Gringo.
Yeah.
We went to Durango, Mexico, where they used to shoot the original westerns over there.
Yeah.
Because it was cheaper back then for them to shoot over there, and the way the weather works.
Yeah.
Went over there. We flew out there in the middle of nowhere, Mexico, and we shot a western. Ended up being 21 minutes.
No shit.
Long. He wanted it long to do a release in a theater, but the release in a theater never happened.
Right.
Like as a promo.
Right.
To do that, but that never came together. But we shot it. It was meant to be like 12 to 15 minutes. With
21 minutes.
And then while we were there, he's like, "Yo, we wanted 21 minutes." And I shot the dolls because the shit was called Voodoo. So they had voodoo dolls from another music video, and they had it with us. I was like, "Yo, can I hold those?" And I went to the western place because it was a place where tourists go, and they do this big theatrical remake show of the Western days and shooting each other. There's people
like
falling off. There's people,
I
went there a couple days earlier to watch the show.
Yeah.
This motherfuckers like acting like they're shooting each other, falling off the balcony. Boom. They had all these things
There's a
set
place
up.
like that in Jersey.
And
There was a place like that. I don't know if it's still
like like the Civil War
They do the
reenactment.
Civil War,
So
all
it's
types
that
of crazy
approach.
shit,
So it was all there. I casted. I was like, I want all these people, all you, we're all gonna work. They're gonna do the show for us within the storyline I set out. And I
they
got
were
the
with
voodoo.
it?
What?
They were with it?
Yeah, everything I wanted to do. They
Yeah.
loved it. Like the intro of it, when they rolled up into the town, the dudes are drunk talking shit, and the shit that they're talking is all song titles of Jon Z.
Damn.
So in the song titles, you know what I mean? You're hearing all the hit records, and they're using it in conversation, like in casual conversation, and then and yeah, that's part of the intro of that.
And did it have that Western hue, like that dusty?
Yeah, I got it color corrected like that, and
that's dope, bro.
I added freaking effects, like all the gun shooting stuff and all that. I added all the effects to make it look, to make it all look real. Had a crazy firework thing that was like $500 or something to get off, like a big ring spinning of sparkles or sparks or some shit. So I had fun out there. And then I got the dolls. Like I said, I was like, oh, I need another fucking 8 minutes of content. So I got the dolls and gave them a personality.
They came to life.
And then I put freaking Western. I went and bought dolls. I went and bought Western stuffed dolls and stuff like that, and took the clothes off, put it on the dolls, and created a storyline with them, where they're narrating part of a second story we added into the mix.
You gotta be a real creative to direct and on the fly make dope changes and create.
That's part of it. Especially, it's not like I have perfect budgets. Every budget still allows for fires to be easily pop up that you got to put out, and then hurdles to jump, and then things don't go as perfectly as you want it, so you got to react. And that's part of directing music videos, especially in the label space, that's what makes a label reps and video commissioners comfortable, is when, oh, this is going wrong. All right, let's just do this.
Yeah, let's just adapt and get the shit.
We can do this. Oh, we gotta wait how long? 25 minutes? All right, let's come over here and do this in the meantime.
While y'all waiting, I'm gonna shoot this B-roll.
Exactly. Or we're gonna go get this real quick, and that's the part that they love the most too.
Yeah,
Fire, brother. Well,
you're efficient.
Brother Ray, before we do 10 shots with VSOP, I just want to make sure everybody knows. Follow at Ray Cuts on Instagram. Follow him on YouTube. Check out all the dope videos. If you have questions or I don't know, you need some guidance, some editor shit, hit him up. I'm not saying he's going to do it because I can't speak for him, but he's a good brother. He might be able to help you out, give you some tips. So make sure you follow at Ray Cut, CUTS. Now let's get into 10 shots with VSOP.
Real quick, I'm going to ask you 10 rapid fire questions. Answer them with minimal thought. We'll circle back and discuss your answers. Cool? All right, no doubt.
Let's do it.
Number 10, editing or shooting, which one do you prefer? Or which one you want to do?
Wow, that's tough.
If you could choose.
If I can choose, probably directing because I'm going to end up editing my own stuff anyways.
Do you ever not edit your stuff?
A few times.
Yeah, like if someone else do it?
Yeah.
Fab or Kiss, who you fucking with?
Fab or Kiss?
Yeah.
Fabulous.
Yeah.
We share the same birthday. So.
Oh, shit. There you go.
Shout out to that.
Amsterdam or Germany?
Germany.
Yeah.
Amsterdam's the motherland of ganja, but Germany is wild.
It's lit. All right.
I feel like Germany's debauchery.
Number 7, analog or digital?
Digital.
Digital? No doubt. Hip-hop or reggaeton videos? Which one you prefer?
Reggaeton.
Yeah? All right, no doubt. iPhone or Android?
Android.
Oh, you got Android. Shit. Jay-Z or Nas? Who's got better videos?
Better videos?
Yeah.
Wow. That was a curveball in there. I would say Jay-Z.
Jay-Z?
Yeah.
The Wire or Sopranos? Which one was shot better?
The Wire.
The Wire?
Yeah.
Clockwork Orange or Eyes Wide Shut? Because they're so far apart.
They are too. They're both good.
Yeah, and they're shot really well. I love the way Eyes Wide Shut is shot.
I did an Eyes Wide Shut video style with Toby Love.
Yeah?
Muchacha Loca is called the music video, and I got my YouTube. I had to stop doing uploading to my YouTube because I have 2 strikes on my YouTube from back in the day that I don't take off because the producer of the song sold it to 2 different people. And then when the one that had the paperwork of buying it first sued Toby Love and the producer. But to do that, they went through my YouTube because back then they didn't even care about YouTube. I was like, yo, let's put it on YouTube and like Boy Wonder didn't make a YouTube yet. So we uploaded the trailer of Muchacha Loca and the music video to my YouTube, and they got striked. And I still had 2 strikes, and 3 your shit is shut down. And then I have the original Omega, Fuerte, and Pitbull video. I forgot the name of it right now, but I got the original one on my YouTube. That's why I have 31 million views. You go to my YouTube and look, the total views is 31 million. It's like, or maybe almost 40 million, and it's like 30 of them is from that video. Wow. That even the label, I had to fucking give up the records. I was just like, I'm not trying to get paid off of this. When YouTube started monetizing, they took it off my YouTube for a little while, but the other one wasn't performing, and then the politics and the system changed where they allowed it back on my page, but they're collecting the money. They're collecting the money, so it's like, I was like, yo, I wish y'all should pay me off of this for putting it on YouTube and blowing up, but
they won't.
It's okay.
So that was Ty, that one? On that question?
Clockwork and Eyes Wide.
Oh, no, I gotta go Clockwork.
Yeah, still
the
Clockwork.
original.
Yeah. Last one, Bigger Pac.
Bigger Pac. I'm gonna have to say Pac.
Pac?
But not lyrically. I guess I would like Biggie more, but the overall work ethic and how he ended up in movies as well. Yeah. Not saying Biggie wouldn't have, but he was
wouldn't have
at
been
that
as good
time.
as Pac.
You don't think
that
so?
was
acting?
Nah,
I don't know.
And then his work ethic.
They were
his
saying
work
Pac
ethic
was gonna be like Denzel.
Yeah.
Like there's probably still gonna be another new set of pop songs popping up that never got released.
That they discovered now and shit.
Yeah. That was 10 shots, y'all.
Do y'all believe Michael Jackson beat up Tupac?
It could happen.
Y'all heard the story?
Yeah, I did hear the
So
story.
there's a story
I seen it on
that
Twitter.
they was at a club and Pac was dating Kidada Jones, Quincy Jones' daughter, at the time, and they were leaving the club, and Pac is riffing at her. He's like, bitch, get in the fucking car, shut the fuck up, blah, blah. And Michael Jackson's like, yeah, you can't talk to her like that. That's like my niece. And Pac is like, Michael Jackson, shut the fuck up.
That's crazy.
And they said Mike hit him with a 2-piece. Boop, 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 boop.
Yo, Mike, you ever see the size of Mike's hands?
No.
Look at old videos or music. Yo, he's got some big ass fucking hands, yo.
Yeah. And he has stamina because he's a dancing fool.
Yeah,
so
bro. Probably slapped the shit out of Pac.
And he crip. So he ain't taking no bullshit.
That's like Chris Brown. He's a black belt or some shit like that.
Yo, word. And Chris Brown's. I've never seen Chris Brown not be good at something.
Right. Yeah.
Like they saw him playing basketball, he's nasty.
Nice. Yeah,
he's dunking 360 through the leg, all this shit. They saw him playing baseball, home run.
Yeah.
Like, man, anything he does, that motherfucker.
Super athletic.
Shout out to that, brother. Shout out to Michael Jackson, rest in peace, Tupac. Let's see. Directing over editing, I figured, right? Editing, as much as you love it, you're sitting in a room.
That's my favorite. But
like,
I would have to say it is my favorite part of the process.
I only asked that because you said that when you edit videos, you put a lot of yourself into it. Like you put hidden messages in there and stuff like that. So that's why I asked that question. I know because shooting it, obviously, you're actually getting the visual yourself. It's what's in your head is what you're trying to portray.
That's another part of the process. I can add my layers into it. Is in the
as
shooting.
you shoot it.
Yeah. Editing, I just got to work with the footage. So assume like in situations where I didn't direct or I wasn't on set or whatever, then those I just gotta work with what's there.
Whatever's there, And if it's missing, it's missing.
Yeah.
You ain't shoot it. Fab over Kiss, both legends. Shout out to both of them. There's a video that you did. The Amil video that they're all in it.
That was the one I was on set for, and then I cut that video. I remember that video was like, because my mentor Edwin DeSantis was like, put me through like boot camp back in the day where he'd be like, yo, the labels don't mess around with all this money. So he'd be like, I sent him the first cut, the first music videos. He'll call me and be like, I liked it up to the first 10 seconds. And I hang up the phone. And then I'll be there. Because he'd tell me, he's like, yo, as soon as I don't like the video, I'm going to stop it. I'm not going to keep watching it. I'm not going to keep watching it because that means the rest of it is bad. So he was just like, then he'll be like, I got to the 30 seconds. I didn't like this part real quick. All right, keep going. Cool. And then I learned like that. And I remember I'm Ill was one of those things where he called me just like, that's what I'm fucking talking about.
No, that video's dope. When I was watching it this morning, I was trying to remember the song. Like as the video starts, because the song don't start right away. They're talking.
No, I remember the song before
I was
the
trying
video.
to remember the song. I'm like, damn, what song? I know this fucking song. I know this.
It had the movie intro. It had the movie intro with the drifting car.
Yep.
Germany over Amsterdam again.
Yeah.
Germany, I'm on my way. Digital over analog. Digital changed everything, bro. It made life easier. I was able to
grow. Yeah, the way I was able to grow.
Yeah.
Because of digital and red cameras and stuff, I have to.
But we'll always appreciate the analog. We'll always appreciate.
It's the same way with film. Like film, at the end of the day, will probably look better.
Well, that's also
it's just more expensive.
It's just more time consuming, more equipment, more lugging shit around. Yeah.
That's also what I meant by analog and digital. I also like the film aspect of it.
Reggaeton over what? Hip hop? Shooting reggaeton video.
Yeah.
I told you that. Shooting dice, Brooklyn 20 dudes, or Puerto Rican beach with thongs and ass.
No, but
it's winning every time.
No, but I've done hip hop videos on the beach and boats.
No, of course.
And then I've done reggaeton videos.
Shooting dice and shit.
Yeah, bro.
Fuck that. Android over iPhone. Do you do a lot of work on your phone?
Not really. More like creative building and stuff like that. I don't actually edit on it. I'll write my treatments or start them on the phone and stuff like that. If I'm not in front of a computer. But I'm Apple everything. But back when iPhone was purposely making the phone not work for you to buy the next one. When I figured that out, I was just like,
they got sued and all that shit.
Yeah, when I figured that out, I was like, I'm going Android. And then the Google phones came out. I had the Pixel 2.
Yeah.
Or the Pixel 1, I don't even know.
They still make phones, Google?
Yeah, there's the 6.
Oh, okay.
And they're up to like 9 or 10 by now.
Oh, wow.
And that's the thing, I got this phone, I went from buying the iPhone like every single time. I went from the Pixel 1 to Pixel 6.
Yeah.
I had my Pixel, was holding it down, it was the best camera. Oh no, it was Pixel 2. That's when Google bodied the whole AI of cameras.
Oh, being
so
able
we
to
had there's better pictures on this, but iPhone wins on the video side, to my eyes.
And the marketing.
But anyways, I got caught up in it and I fell in love with it. I was like, I can use 2 apps at once. Because, iPhone is so, like, dumbed down and there's only so much you can do.
Yeah.
Like, an Apple, you can't watch, be on a website watching a video and then writing a note at the same time.
Right.
Yeah, okay.
You know what I mean? You can do that. That was like, that little stupid thing. I was like, oh, iPhone don't let you do that.
I can do all this shit at once. What?
And then I just stayed on this side because the technology, everything that's new for the iPhone is old for an Android.
iPhone's marketing, bro. Apple. Everything is marketing.
Yeah.
They want, if you have a Mac.
No, they're bastard. Apple are bastards.
You gotta have the headphones. You gotta have the AirPods.
Like the whole green bubble, blue bubble thing.
Yeah,
like
that's them.
iPhones are jerks. They purposely mess up the pictures and videos when you send them back to an iPhone
Aren't they being
user.
sued for that too?
I think it's changing soon.
Yeah, that's funny. That's funny. Because we always shit
and the
on
same thing with the wire.
Oh,
iPhone went USB-C, and they took out. I don't know how it's a law or I don't know how.
Because now they want you to buy a new charger, and they just want you to waste a lot of money, bro.
Yeah,
and we
spend
do.
it.
What else? Where were we? Jay-Z over Nas?
Best videos.
No need to.
You said videos. I would take Nas
over Jigga.
Over Jigga.
As far as
lyrically, musically, easily.
Edit that out, brother.
He's a big Jay-Z fan. That's why.
The Wire over Sopranos. Yo, The Wire is different,
they
bro.
bodied that.
Yeah.
The way it feels like you're there in the streets with them.
And
The Sopranos is an amazing story. Like I've watched that series like at least three times.
Yeah.
Like it's an amazing
and it's
story.
Shot well.
And it's shot well too, but it's like
The Wire's different.
And you still feel you're like on the outside looking at this mafia story.
Right.
Where The Wire, it's like, yo, I felt
The Wire's almost like Cops.
In there,
like you're on the corner.
You're getting all those perspectives and stuff like that.
And it doesn't age bad, bro.
No.
Like The Wire, you watch it right now, and you're like, wow, this is fire.
Yeah.
Clockwork over Eyes Wide Shut. The original. You can't never beat the original. And Pac over Big. Yeah. I got nothing to say about that. Except Michael Jackson beat up Tupac. So shout out to that, brother Ray. Thank you, brother.
Thank you for having me.
Amazing conversation, my brother.
Appreciate you guys.
Keep rocking, keep kicking ass, bro. Hopefully I'll go to the movies one day and I'll see Ray Cuts up there.
Hell yeah, directed by Ray Cuts.
I look forward to that. And if you do, let a brother do a little cameo. I'll be the bum, whatever. I'll cross the street. I don't care.
I'll be a crackhead if you want.
Hey, won't take much acting. No. Let me.
What you got?
Let's see.
Take us out, bro.
Oh, let's see what we're gonna fade out with. Pardon me. Let's go back here. Shout out to the brother Ray Cuts for coming through. Let's take it back to.
I'm always open if people want to work with me.
Let's
have a conversation.
Hit up at Ray Cuts
and see where it goes from there.
Yeah, man.
And make that happen. Let's damn, you know what? I'm gonna do this for Ray Cuts because you're a good brother. Was gonna fade us out with some classic Hov, but let's do it for Queens. Oh, matter of fact, let's do it for Queens since the Mets are playing today. Game 6.
Word up.
Yankees in the World Series. Let's get the Mets there. Subway Series. I'll be home the whole time. That'll be dope for the city. Episode 196 of the Great American Hip Hop Debate Podcast. As always, chin up, chest out, carry yourself with honor, carry yourself with pride. And we out. I heard he looks like you. Flipping. Yo, Nas got songs that should be movies. This is a movie. This might be a movie. This might be a movie. You know, say the money might be a movie. It's Bug. That's all fair.